Tyler Perry has been accused of sexual assault by Derek Dixon, an actor in the long-running drama, The Oval. In the 46-page complaint filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court on June 13th of 2025, Dixon accuses Perry of creating a coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic between them when he was working for him. The complaint accused Tyler of initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault and battery, and professional retaliation when he didn't reciprocate the unwanted advances. According to the complaint, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. Mr. Perry sought the one thing his wealth and influence could not purchase, a sexual relationship with a man who would remain silent. Using his influence, Mr. Perry provided vulnerable men with acting positions, roles, show contracts, cars, and money. Once the object of his desire was hooked, Tyler Perry would put them in fear of losing it all unless they engaged in Mr. Perry's perverted desire for sexual gratification. Mr. Perry would easily ill off a character in a show of an actor who failed to indulge Perry's sexual fantasies. Dixon claims meeting the director in 2019 when working the opening party for Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta for an events company, with Tyler picking him from a crowd and asking for his number. In his head, Tyler Perry being a director meant that he might have had a role for him, and he wasn't wrong. Over the next few months, Tyler texted him, often with suggestive advances, including promises that he wanted to find him a job and change his life. Tyler went on to give him a small role in 2 episodes in the show called Ruthless. In January of 2020, Dixon alleges that Tyler invited him to his home in Atlanta, an invitation he accepted hoping to build a friendship with the director, with the friendship being the source of more projects in future. During this visit, Dixon drank too much and ended up spending the night in the guest room. On this night, Dixon alleges that Tyler got into bed with him and started grazing his thighs, and despite protests, Tyler remained interested. Dixon kept informing Perry that he was not into sex in order to keep Perry at bay, while at the same time not insulting the person who was dangling his career in front of him, part of the complaint read. Shortly after the night he spent in the director's Atlanta home, around a month, Dixon landed the role of Dale in The Oval, which was obviously great for his career, a materialization of the friendship he believed he had formed with the director. However, shortly after, Dixon alleges that Tyler started firing sexually suggestive texts at him, including telling him that he has sex with men. The more Dixon ignored the texts, the aggressive he became. The aggressive texts and advances came with an even more prominent role in the show. Tyler invited him to his home again in 2020, where things allegedly took a dark turn. Dixon claims that Tyler greeted him warmly, but immediately started a sexually charged conversation along the lines of his preferences in the bedroom, to the point of grabbing his neck at some point saying, "Look how excited you just got." Dixon claims that that incident ended by him pushing Tyler away. Dixon alleges that he visited a physician in December of 2020 who indicated that Dixon exhibited severe symptoms of acute stress, insomnia, stomach issues, and dangerously low cortisol levels due to the sexual harassment and assault, a visit that ended in a Zoloft prescription, which is an antidepressant. According to Dixon, the most aggressive incident took place in June of 2021, again, in Tyler's Atlanta home, where they were supposed to discuss shooting the pilot for losing it. This 2021 visit was the 3rd time he went to Tyler's house. First time, allegedly, Tyler got into bed with him when he was drunk, tried doing stuff with him. Eventually, nothing major happened, but he got the Dale role. Second time in his home, he made aggressive sexual advances, which he allegedly turned down, and that was that. On this 3rd time, Dixon alleges that as he was in the guest house with only his underwear on, Tyler came into the room he was in and hugged him goodnight. Dixon alleges that Tyler yanked down his underwear and begun to vigorously grab, grope, and play with his buttocks in a sexual manner, uttering, Relax and let it happen, all the while assuring him that it wasn't going to hurt, as he was naked. Stunned and seized by tremendous fear, Dixon alleges that he repelled this aggressive advance by changing the subject. After the assault, Dixon alleges that one of Tyler's lawyers came and told him that Christmas came early because he had done a good job with the Oval, implying that he would be getting a raise in the next season. Over the next 5 months, Dixon alleges that he suffered from severe depression, anxiety, stomach pains, and nausea, all this culminating in a post-traumatic stress disorder diagnosis. Dixon points out that the character Dale was written as a gay homeless desperate store clerk who was forced to sleep with other characters for a place to stay. According to Dixon, the Dale character is what Tyler claimed he was looking for in a real-life sexual partner, that is, someone who would be loyal and dependent. Dixon expressed fears of his career being derailed if he flat-out rejected Tyler, so he instead chose to go with it, even though he wasn't the sexual type. He asserts that the fear of losing his job loomed if he ever complained of sexual assault. Dixon also noted that from reading the script from his first season was that his character's fate was left up in the air in the finale. Part of the lawsuit read, Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the sexual innuendos, Dixon's character would die in the next season. At the end of his first season, Dale was shot 4 times in the head, and according to the complaint, Tyler always held this over Mr. Dixon's head, implying that Dale would survive if Dixon kept Perry happy. Dixon immediately understood his job security depended on his relationship with Perry, and Tyler made sure to warn him not to discuss any of their conversations with castmates. From this exchange, Tyler allegedly boasts of killing people on his shows, especially those that no one expects, even in one episode, all the people being shot at. The lawsuit cites numerous incidents of sexual assault, including one where the actor accuses Tyler of interrogating him over his sexual interests in a trailer on the set of The Oval, before pinning him to the wall and fondling him, around the time that his character had been shot. Dixon claims he refused the advance and left the trailer. There's also an additional complaint where Dixon claims Tyler assaulted him during a cast trip to the Bahamas in 2020. Part of the complaint is a series of texts between the men, with most of them being sexually charged. For example, no straight man would be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless they wanted to F you. I would F you. There's this exchange that kinda looks like the genesis of all the flirting and kind of fishing for compliments or something like that. What's going to take for you to have guiltless sex? You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ. Why did that photo make me jealous? You two together. Thick Derek, get that Chipotle. I really need to talk to you, my friend. Please call as soon as you can. Trying to do the rooms on the boat. If I invite Bill, would you be okay sharing a room with him or not? I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. Testosterone. I feel so good, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the first person that flirts with me. You're the rose, but you're so blocked that you refuse to be smelt or opened. I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. I hope that you get past that block in your mind soon. Listen to me. If you let the cast know that you and I have a new friendship, then you're opening yourself up to a lot of questions and foolishness. You want them to know that you are there because of your talent and not because we have a friendship or because Tony got me to give you a job. You earned your spot like everyone else. I can't teach you everything. Unfortunately, there are some things you'll have to learn for yourself. Just watch the behavior of everyone around me on set. In this exchange, there's a whole lot of talk around consent, and Dixon being able to say no, and a strong no at that, further showing information on sexual exchange. There's this exchange of Tyler allegedly telling Dixon that he hasn't been touched in months, and this is how it all went down. Dixon finally filed a complaint with the Equal Employment and Opportunity Commission in June of 2024, and soon after, quitting the Oval, citing that he would no longer put up with the sexual harassment, which included declining a job from Tyler that would see him work as a writer. The complaint did not result in any action against the producers, which led him to quit. Dixon continued starring on The Oval, but left during the final season, a move that saw him lose out on some $400,000. Dixon claims that Tyler's fixers offered him a raise to return to The Oval and that Tyler would buy the rights to produce his show, losing it. For example, this exchange shows Tyler promising to advance Dixon's career, talking about, "You have a really fresh voice and take on things. I don't know where this is going, but I laughed the entire time. I could see the world and the characters. I want to take Losing It out to Amazon or Netflix after that and gauge their interest. But I also want to try get you with the right people to help you make these shows work. They are not for my audience, but we need to find a home for this stuff." While Tyler did buy the rights to the script and filmed it, Dixon said he had no interest in ever producing it. Dixon claims that Perry never made any efforts to sell the show or shop it, as he was using it as a quid pro quo, holding the production over his head. He claims that in January of 2023, he informed Tyler that he was moving back to California to put some distance between them. Dixon is suing Tyler Perry's studios for quid pro quo, workplace sexual harassment, sexual assault, and battery, seeking $260 million in damages. Tyler Perry's lawyer Matthew Boyd told TMZ, "This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident that these fabricated claims of harassment will fail." It does appear that there are a lot of these so-called shakedowns involving some of the biggest names in various industries. Just recently, Shannon Sharpe called the $100 million rape and sexual assault case filed by OnlyFans creator Gabriela Zuniga a shakedown, claiming that all their interactions were consensual.
Page complaint obtained by ET, she also claims he threatened to kill her, beat her up, and recorded their sexual encounters without her consent. The alleged victim admits to being more than 30 years younger than the 56-year-old star and says she met him at an LA gym in 2023 when she was just 20. She filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe, but in this scathing denial, Sharpe's legal team calls her out by name. We won't repeat it, but they're dubbing the suit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. And they released a series of explicit text messages that they say prove this was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios. She's seeking $50 million.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Jay-Z also called the sexual allegations leveled against him a shakedown, with the charges eventually being dropped.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. "I have made some mistakes," she said. "Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me." The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory.
In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" He added, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people."
Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegations allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right, more than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, you know, we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.